Well, good morning, campers. It's about 10:30. I didn't get up till it's second of December. I didn't get up till 9. The last week or so, I've been up and awake at between 4 and 6 o'clock. So I don't know what it is, but I'm out in my van, my lovely van. All my stuff stacked on top of my bike. Anyway, so yeah. So I know I told you yesterday, Kevin rang me, my mechanic. My ECU is coming back today for this van. He could come Saturday or Sunday, but I didn't want him to rush, so he's coming Monday. And apparently the ECU is that badly damaged that it needs the injectors reprogramming. So apparently that's a couple of hours job. So we'll get the ECU back, but the ECU won't be done, but he can reprogram it. So with any luck, we should be up and running Monday, unless the ECU says something else is wrong. But it's a lesson learned. It's not to override a fuse. Because I needed to get out of the road, I had to crank the thing on the starter motor to get me out of the road. I should have waited until somebody turned up and got pushed out of the way, but I'm sort of a self-sufficient sort of bloke, so I didn't do that. Anyway, we'll leave it at that, and we'll get on and do a bit more to the ambulance. Just a quick message from our sponsor. Could you like me? Could you share me? And could you subscribe to me? That would be very nice. Thank you. Well, I just been out into the, not just been out, a couple of hours ago, I went out to the white van, the ambulance, turned the heating on. I want to get in there and do a bit, but it's so toasty warm sat in here. And it's getting up to 12:30. I haven't really sort of done much, but I need to crack on. Well, as you can see in here, I'm back in the van. I need to get all this painted and made right so that it's actually finished. So here we go, crack on. Well, there it is, all taken apart again. So we'll see what it looks like when I finish doing it and insulating it. Well, as you can see now, that's all been painted in grey and all up in the corners, so it's all nice and tidy and finished. That's a little tiny bit of overspray there, a little bit there, but that there is a mark that was there anyway. So it's coming on. Right, well there we go, the paint's dry. We've insulated it now. So that's all done proper. Insulated up in there. And just got it everywhere I can physically get at it. I was thinking about these being hollow, about drilling holes in the top and pouring in some of the stuff they put in bean bags and filling them up. But it might interfere with the working of the door. I don't know what that is. It's just dirty rainwater. I'm debating on whether to leave these doors. I don't want to show because, well, I'm debating on whether to leave the doors. Obviously, there's not gaps in when they're shut. I'm debating whether to leave the doors and just put in panels in there. But I do sort of quite like the curtain as well. So that remains to be seen. Answers on a postcard or in the comments even. Well, I can't remember who said it, but somebody commented about these being light grey. You can't really see them, but they said they'd be better if they were covered in this material, so I might have a go at that. Well, peeps, I'm out of the van. I'm all fucking stressed out again because I've cut a load of grey strips to cover these aluminium bits in, and putting those corner bits in, I've ripped one of the covers, so that's got to be recovered. It's only a square about a foot by 8 inches, and it's right up in the corner. And I don't expect anybody would notice it, but I notice it. And if it ain't fucking right, it ain't right, is it? So it's got to be right. Well, peeps, so you got it. And that's exactly the same as this morning. 4 hours ago, took it down, painted it. Well, they got a fuzzy line along the top, and I don't like that. Well, I was spraying it underneath, I couldn't see it. But that's got to be done, so that middle piece will come out and I'll repaint that. I haven't covered those little covers because I can't find the material. And that one up in that corner, I've ripped a little bit right by the side of it. You can't really see it there, but I know it's fucking there and it ain't right. So this is the look that I was going for. Grey at the back, all nice and tidy, cozy, cozy, cozy. I found that piece. It's like people have said to me, well, Erwin Doors and aging up. This piece here is painted, and when you touch it, it's got just a little bit of cold to it. But if it's covered with that, and it's put in behind there, obviously it's a little bit darker, but it's warm to the touch. In every little cold area that we can get rid of, the better. So as you can tell, well, you can't tell, I just fucking told you, I'm getting a bit fucking stressed with doing this because it just seems to be, it just fights every inch of the way. But it's coming there, and it will be nice. It will be fucking proper when it's done. I haven't got the thing for the solar panel yet. I haven't wired the solar panel through. I got, like I said, I got the MPPT player, or fucking whatever you call it, here somewhere, and I put it down and I don't know where I put it. I'm always losing fucking bits. It's a lot better when H is here, because when she's here, she's fucking passes stuff to me and it makes life a lot easier. But I ordered a battery charger, so I should be relatively efficient then, because you don't get much solar in the winter anyway. So I'll get that in and get that wired up. Of course, obviously I bought a Victron one, because why fuck about with rubbish? And me and H were discussing that people might want to change things. But I thought to myself, if you put the best in to start with, then you've got the best in to start with, haven't you? And it's the only, so I just got a message from Brian, Manchester Van Life. And you can sort of come up sideways. And yeah, got like to be comment. So we're going to have a look at Brian Manchester Van Life. Yeah. So here we are. It's good enough to go. It's good enough to live in. I got the thing. I don't think the gas is in here quite right, but I want to change it anyway, so that little bit of difference. But I'll have to find out how you take the cooker out so I can get a little hob. I don't know what anybody thinks, so we make the comments, and I always take comments on board. POA, my plan of attack is to take this out and turn it sideways so it's over here. I should put some sort of asbestos lining or something against there so this doesn't matter. But that actually there, that is the thickness of it, that is the stuff. And I got an idea of keeping, that's why I just put a toilet roll in here. I use water because I haven't used the sink. But I got the, I mean, that's still wired up. Yeah, that's working. And my idea is to put a new worktop on so I can turn that sideways. I got an idea of cutting like Mel's Van Life. He cut one of his front seats, but as you can see, it's from there, from what's about a foot to the back of the seats, and there's plenty of room down there. See, because there's the batteries are down there, and whatever. There's plenty of room. It's to put it so anybody could escape. If they want to escape for the front, they could get through. But my plan was to move this a little bit, put a new worktop in with no sink. Now before you all go, what are you going to do for a sink? I was going to have 2 bowls. And I thought if I had a bowl, this piece here can physically be raised. So if I have 2 bowls, I'll have a bowl there. I'll put, in fact, if you imagine that as a bowl, I used to have this piece here with a hole in it and a loop, and it will just be put on there so that it can't move about. And the idea there is to do whatever you're washing with hot water, because we've only got cold water in here, and literally just throw it out the door, because it's good in the summer, because that helps. And then I thought about washing, as well, is there's no shower in here, but that's if somebody buys it, then they can have it. And I mean, and I've left enough room there to put, there's enough room there to put a shower in. You've got a base or whatever, that all goes with it. I've got a water tank to go into the sink if you want, but I just want a 5 litre water tank. Sorry, 25 litre water tank. But yeah, anyway, the idea was to have 2 bowls, and basically when you finish washing, just chuck it out the door. Helps in the winter, helps in the summer to water the plants. I don't use anything greasy, and I very, very seldom cook. And I mean, when I do cook, then I use paper towels to wipe the, because I just use me what's it called? I was going to say fucking George Foreman, but it's not called George Foreman, is it? It's called what the fuck's it called? Edge Monkey. Yeah, I use my Edge Monkey. And no, it's not fucking Edge Monkey, is it? No, it's Ridge Monkey. That's it. Yeah, I was thinking of fucking Harry the Edge Monkey from fucking Watson when he crashed his bike. He left his motorbike stood up in the middle of this fucking hedge, and after that he got called Harry the Hedge Monkey. But it doesn't really matter now because he's fucking dead. But yeah, so yeah, that was a prospect for the Lowlanders. It was never ever going to fucking make it, as long as you had a fucking own his ass. And that'll be 7 years after he's dead, so he ain't even got own his ass now because he's been dead 7 years. I digress. And then the thing is where the outlet is already in here. If anybody didn't want bowls and they want to put a sink in, then the sink can be, I mean, they can do it, or I mean, if they get a fucking sink in, they buy it off me, I'll do it for them. But I mean, I could put a sink in where they want it. But I'd be quite happy with a bowl, and it just gives you more workspace as well. But that's just my opinion, see what you think. But you say, oh, you can't chuck dirty water. Oh, fuck off. Of course you can chuck dirty water out, or behave yourself. It's not green, it's not, I mean, all the stuff I use, I mean, her indoors, she'd a bloody recycle, bicycle, fucking icicle, I don't know, whatever she does a fucking lot, and all the stuff she buys me is all this fucking green rubbish. You know the sort of green stuff you get, like the green in these electric cars, you know, which is totally green, but making the fucking electricity fucking enters it. So I mean, that's a waste of time, that is. I reckon you're better off with something old, keep it on the road, and that'll do less to the climate. And if it's old and you're not recycling it, you ain't got. If it's old and you're using it, you ain't got to recycle it. That's half the reason I was thinking about keeping this van and getting rid of mine. But I got in mine last night, and mine's so fucking lovely. You know, I've done so much to that van, and I've got it just as I want it now. But this is quite nice to have a little bit of space, and I quite like the idea of a little bit of space. I also like the idea of not having gas heating, because I always get gas, but if it's really, really winter and you need to fill your gas bottles up every sort of 5 days, I've got enough electric to last me 5 days, but I haven't got enough fucking gas if it's on 24/7. But hey ho, I digress again. So fed up now. Sorry about that when I said fed up. Right, I'll start again now. Fed up now. I'm going. So I'll speak to you all later. Remember, stay classy, no fighting. I love you all. Bye bye. And you, Skins, brother of mine.